Jaya Radha Madhava Javihara Javihara Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Bhaja Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna, Prabhupada, Jaya Radha ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा, रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम, Canto 4, Chapter 12, text number 16. Correct words? क्या? श्रीमद् भागवतम 4, 12, 16. आत्मा आत्मास्त्रि अपत्य सुहृदो बलं हृदकोशम्। आत्माश्रिपत्य आत्मा आत्माश्री अपत्य सुहृदो बलं हृदकोशम्। अन्तःपुरं परि अन्तःपुरं परिविहार भुवश्च रम्यः। अन्तःपुरं परिविहार भुवश्च रम्यः। भूमण्डलं आकलय्य। भूमण्डलं जलधिमेखलमाकलय्य। कालोपसृष्टम् इति सा प्रयायौ विशालम्। कालोपसृष्टम् इति स प्रयायौ विशालम्। आत्मस्त्रि अपत्य सुहृदो बलमृद्धकोशाम्। अन्तःपुरं परिविहार भुवश्च रम्याः। भूमण्डलं जलधिमेखलमाकलय्य। कालोपसृष्टमिति सा प्रयायौ विशालम्। प्रयायौ विशालम्। आत्माश्रिय अपत्य सुहृदो बलं वृद्धकोशम्। अन्तःपुरं परिविहार भुवश्च रम्यः। भूमण्डलं जलधिमेखलमाकलय्य। कालोपसृष्टमिति सा प्रयायो विशालम्। What for meaning? Atma, body. Sri, wives. Apatya, children. Suhruda, friends. Balam, influence, army. Riddhakosham, rich treasury. Antahpuram, female resident quarters. Parivihara bhuva, pleasure grounds. Cha, and Ramyaha, beautiful. Bhumandalam, the complete earth. Jaladi, by ocean. Mekhalam, bound. Akalaya, considering Kala by time, Upashritam, created, Iti, thus, Sha, he, Prayayo, went, Vishalam, to Badrikashram. Translation and purport by His Divineness A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus, Dhruva Maharaj at the end of his life, Dhruva Maharaj at the end left his kingdom, which extends all over the earth and which was bound by the great oceans. He considered his body, his wife, his children, his friends, his army, his rich treasury, his very comfortable palaces, and his many enjoyable pleasure grounds to be creation of illusory energy. Thus, in due course of time, he retired to the forest in the Himalayas known as Badrikashrama. Purport. In the beginning of his life, we, when he went to forest in search of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj realized that all the bodily conceptions of pleasure are products of the illusory energy. So, I'll repeat the sentence. In the beginning of his life, when he went to the forest in search of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj realized that all the bodily conceptions of pleasure are products of illusory energy. In the very beginning, of course, he was after the kingdom of his father, and in order to get it, he went to search for supreme. Uh, he went to search for the supreme Lord, but he later realized that everything is creation of the illusory energy. For the acts of Srila Dhruva Maharaj, from the acts of Srila Dhruva Maharaj, we can understand that somehow or other, if one becomes Krishna conscious, it does not matter what his motivation is in the beginning. He will eventually realize the real truth by the grace of the Lord. In the by the grace of the Lord. In the beginning, Dhruva Maharaj was interested in the kingdom of his father, but later he became great devotee, Mahabhagavata, and had no interest in the material enjoyment. The perfection of life can be achieved only by devotees. Even if one completes only a minute percentage of devotional service and then falls down from his immature position, he is better than a person who is fully engaged in the fruity activities of material world. Okay? Even if one completes only a minute, okay, minute. Even if one completes only a minute percentage of devotional service and then falls down from his immature position, he is better than the person who is fully engaged in the fruity activities of this material world. So minute minutes almost. So minute might be more smaller than minute. Okay. Okay. ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सागना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चना गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Mukam karoti vachalam bangam langayate girim yatkrupatamahamvande Sri Guru Andinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. So today's words. So let me revisit the context. Here, actually, it talks about how Dhruva Maharaj, after initially went to Supreme Lord in search of Supreme Lord to get a kingdom greater than that of his grandfather. Later on, while he was performing bhakti in the forest, he realized that everything is illusory energy of the Lord. The kingdoms, all those things are insignificant. That's why when the when the Lord appeared in front of him and asked, what would you like to have? He said, I don't want anything. I came for broken pieces of glasses. I achieved rare diamond. But because he had the desire, Lord said, okay, now you will be the king. You will rule the kingdom for 36,000 years. And then at the end of your life, you will come back to me, like that he said. And then come back to Dhroloka. That's what he said. Okay. Now, if you see, uh, after he came, he had that he was ruling nicely, but he lost his father. Sorry, he lost his brother, and he got conflict with the yakshas, and he started killing yakshas. And finally, he was pacified by Swayambhu Manu. And then, when he was pacified, Kuvera came, and he was pleased with the behavior of Dhruva Maharaj. And Kuvera asked, "I would like to give you any benediction." And Dhruva Maharaj, without a second thought, he said, just give me benedictions so that I can constantly remember the Lord without forgetting even for a moment. So that was his only desire. So later on, after that, he ruled the world for 36,000 years. And then he went to, again, after ruling for 36,000 years, he developed such a renunciation that he was not interested in any of his uh, possessions or properties or kingdom, wives, and all those things. So especially when we think of Dhruva Maharaj, we only think of he being the 5-year-old boy. Like even after he ruled the kingdom for 36,000 years and he again goes to forest, that time also we still have the same picture that no, Dhruva Maharaj is 5-year-old. That is the power when strongly we had that impression, right? Dhruva Maharaj achieved a lot at the age of 5. So even Prahlad Maharaj also. Prahlad Maharaj has grandson Bali Maharaj. Later on, he comes in the pastime of our pastime where Bali Maharaj was. Vaman Dev comes. When Prahlad Maharaj comes, Prahlad Maharaj was great grandfather of Bali Maharaj. But still we have the concept Prahlad Maharaj means 5-year-old. So because whenever they that age and that pastime, like where they achieve a lot is that they are 5 years. That is a perfection of life. Okay. So and then the main important point here is how Dhruva Maharaj has developed such a renunciation. Of course, it is said that like somebody who enjoys this material world to the fullest extent, they have to come to this point that there is nothing in this material world. So it is said that if somebody want to develop renunciation on something, something like eating or watching movies or something like that, they do it so excessively, they develop such a renunciation, such a distaste for that. And but Prabhupada wants it. But that is one process of developing renunciation. It is like the fire is there, and you have to extinguish the fire. You have to dump a large quantity of ghee on it suddenly. Then it will get exhausted. But if the quantity of is not enough, or by mistake, if you mistake extinguish that fire, it will burn like much greater. Means you can achieve renunciation through sense gratification. But if you are not able to achieve the renunciation to sense gratification, the attachment it develops in our heart is so great that we have to take multiple number of lifetimes to get rid of it. Because the more we do anything, impressions are keep on coming, and impressions are keep on created, and it develops such an attachment to the objects of sense gratification. We try to see different versions of the same sense gratification. So that's why it's better to maintain safe distance from the object of sense gratification, or regulate them so well, so that we gradually come to the understanding that there is nothing here in this material world. Uh, so like that, Dhruva Maharaj has achieved his perfection of developing renunciation. So he had the darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Throughout his life, he was engaging perfectly in the devotion service, and he was doing everything as a service to Krishna. But at the end, he renounced everything and went to Badrikashram. So that is the point where one has to be careful. You might be in Grihastha ashram, you might be in a brahmacharya ashram or anything, or brahmacharya ashram is a little safer, especially persons who are in a Grihastha ashram. He might be doing all the bhakti perfectly, like following the rules of Grihastha ashram, but still is at the risk of meditating on something other than the Supreme Personality of God at the end of his life. He might temporarily get some renunciation or anything like that. But to be safe side, one has to go and take association of saintly people at the end of his life. So that's why Vanaprastha is suggested, so that one gets used to living in the forest. One gets used to living away from home, and then comes to sannyas. So when a sannyas is a stage, is perfectly suitable to live this material world. So that especially here, Dhruva Maharaj, he literally took sannyas and he went to Badrikashram. And afterward, he achieved the perfection. So if you see here, one of the best shloka, one of the best kirtan that is matching to this context is this shloka, this song written by Govinda Das Kaviraj Goswami. Vajahu Premana Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Pinda. Premana Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Durlabha Manava Janama Satrange Karoshi Nava Sindhure Durlabha Manava Ita Atapa Bhattavarishan Edina Jamini Jagi Ita Atapa Bhattavarishan Edina Jamini Jagi Vikala Sivima Kupanadu which makes one fearless, having obtained through the association of saintly persons. Both in the day and night, I remain speechless, sleepless, suffer the pains of heat and cold, wind, and uh, sorry, suffer the wind and rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served the wicked and miserly men. What assurance of real happiness is there in this in all of the one's wealth, youthfulness, sons, family members? That this life is tottering like a drop of water on the lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. It is the desire of the great desire and the great longing of Govindasa to engage himself in the nine process of bhakti, namely hearing the glories of the Lord, chanting, and then constantly remembering and offering prayers, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worshipping Him with flowers and incense, and so forth, serving Him as a friend and completely offering the Lord one's very self. So, this is the wonderful song by Govindas Kaviraj. So I was wondering, like, I would like to research on the life of these, acharyas who actually wrote such a beautiful pastime. So then I went and now I will just summarize their life within 10 minutes. So basically, uh, Govinda Kaviraj, Sri Govinda Kaviraj, and Ramachandra Kaviraj, both are brothers. Okay, and they are actually uh, the grandsons of Damodar Pandit. Like, why are you saying grandsons means Damodar Pandit was a great scholar. Nobody could defeat him in the debate. So Damodar Pandit, we are actually at the we are actually just talking about the grandfather of uh, Govinda Kaviraj Goswami. So and Damodar Pandit, he once defeated one scholar, and it was heated defeat, and and this scholar became so humiliated, And he became so angry, he cursed Damodar Pandit. Uh, Like I curse you, you will not have no sons in your throughout your lifetime. And Damodar Pandit, you got he wanted to it was a full curse. He was actually I don't know, he's still about to get married or recently got married. And he went out of the way and served that scholar extensively and tried to please him. And finally, after some time, after being pleased with the attitude and the service of Damodar Pandit, he said, "See, you will have a daughter, and your daughter will have two sons who will be great devotees, and they will drive away the ignorance of the entire world." Like that, he says. And sure enough, Damodar Pandit got a daughter. She was so beautiful, and it is said that she was full of all good qualities. And his name, her name was Sunanda Devi. Okay, and Sunanda Devi later on married Sri Chiranjeeva. Chiranjeeva is the eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sunanda Devi is daughter of Damodar Pandit. Damodar Pandit is also associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so and after uh, they married, they got both Ramachandra Kaviraj and then Govinda Kaviraj. Okay, so Ramachandra Kaviraj was elder brother and Govinda Kaviraj was younger brother. So after the birth of Govinda Kaviraj, uh, Chiranjeeva, who is father of Govinda Kaviraj, he became sick. After some time, after some days, he became sick and he passed away. And then, so like Govinda Kaviraj was sent to his grandfather, Damodar Pandit, where he was. Damodar Pandit was a Vaishnava, but still the surroundings there in his village and in his surroundings, they're all Shaktas, worshipper of Mother Durga. And here the Ramchandra Kaviraj, he was still in the same association of in his home in his hometown only. He didn't go to his grandfather. So and he actually learned medicine. He became a doctor, and he used to treat the patients basically right from very childhood. He developed intense desire for devotion service, and he's always fully he's a pure devotee right from the very childhood. So later on, he became a doctor, and whenever he treats any patients, he treats in such a way that they not only get materially benefited by taking care of their health, they also become devotees of the Lord. Even that is written in the scriptures itself. So in the due course of time, what happened? Even Sunam Devi also went back to Godhead. And then after that, Ramchandra Kaviraj, you know, he was very Ramchandra Kaviraj is the brother of Govinda Kaviraj. Govinda Kaviraj is the author of that song, and Ramchandra Kaviraj was his brother. So we sing right, Ramchandra Kaviraj. Whenever we sing Narottam Das Thakur song, he always mentions, "I want association of Ramchandra Kaviraj. I want association of Ramchandra." So he was such a dear friend of Narottam Das Thakur. But uh, Ramchandra Kaviraj was so beautiful. He's like anybody who sees him, he was so attractive. And he's a devotee, and he was a doctor also. So and he was getting married actually. The way he met his spiritual master is wonderful actually. So one time, like it was in uh, Jajigram near Katwa, where the spiritual master of Ramchandra Kaviraj was Srinivas Thakur or Srinivas Acharya, Srinivas Thakur. Srinivasa Acharya was a great devotee, and then like Jajigram was the maternal place of Srinivasa Acharya, means like her mother's place. So he went. I think Srinivasa Acharya used to live in Navadip. I don't know, but he went there and he was actually staying there for some time. And during that time, Ramchandra Kaviraj was getting married, and he was getting married. He was like, and he was in the marriage procession. The palanquin was going, and everybody was so mesmerized by the beauty of Ramchandra Kaviraj, and everybody is stunned at looking at his beauty. And Srinivas Acharya also sees that such a beautiful person. If he would have become a devotee, he was nicely engaged in the devotional service. He actually, like it is the word he calls said, saying, say, like as if like, unfortunate thing, alas, unfortunate thing has happened. Unfortunate, that could have better utility than this, like that. So you are so beautiful, and looking at the Judah, this person is so beautiful. This person can be nicely engaged in Krishna service, he thought, and everybody is admiring him. And Ramchandra Kaviraj actually heard this just one statement from his guru, and that time onwards he developed such a attachment to his guru, and he later on, even after marriage thing is over, he later on renounced everything and went back to his guru. So he went back to his guru, and he was serving his guru nicely and taking care of him. And here, later on, he becomes such a very exalted devotee. Like when you see the pastimes of Ramchandra Kaviraj, is amazing. Like he actually is such a devotee. We will see the greatness of his devotion later on, in the later pastimes. So he becomes so close associate of Srivas Thakur, and Srivas Thakur was constantly engaging him and was serving him and doing devotion service very nicely. But Govinda Kaviraj, right from very childhood, he was surrounded by Shaktas. He became a devotee of Durga Devi, and his worship of Durga Devi was so like what do you call, so sincere that he used to see Durga Devi personally, and he used to talk to Durga Devi also. So like that time passed for some time, and then like these two brothers, they are living separately. He is living in his grandfather's place, and he is living in his hometown. Occasionally they used to meet, but later on, like they moved to one common place and they stayed there. And still he was continuing as his worship of Durga, and he's a devotee of Krishna. Is they are continuing like that, and suddenly, like Ramchandra Kaviraj, sorry, Govinda Kaviraj, like now he like like Durga Devi, you are able to speak to you, and he asked, Mother, my Durga Devi, Mother Durga, you are the in charge of this material world. Can you please, like liberate me from this material world, like that he asked. And Durga Devi said, see, for you to get liberation, you have to go and worship Krishna. There are so many Durgas, there are innumerable, unlimited Durgas, unlimited Shivas, unlimited Brahmas, but we are all aspire for the darshan of lotus feet of Krishna. So, if for you to get out of this mental existence, you have to go and worship Krishna, as he said, straightforward. But still, he was, like attachment is there, right? And he has such a reciprocation of Durga Devi. He was just continuing. So suddenly, what happened after some time? He suddenly started becoming sick, and he became so sick. Like he thought, like my sickness, my health will get better only by the mercy of Ramchandra Kaviraj. So no. Before that, what happened? Like they both were living in the same town, Ramchandra Kaviraj and Govinda Kaviraj. Ramchandra Kaviraj, they used to two beautiful ponds where the very nice lotus flowers will used to sprout. Means like they are such a beautiful flowers. One time, Ramchandra Kaviraj was passing by, and he saw such a beautiful flowers, lotus flowers, and he said, "Oh, like no, like he didn't even get down and then pluck the flowers and then offer to Krishna. He just mentally offered entire lotus flowers to Krishna directly, entire pond of lotus flowers to Krishna mentally, and that ponds are closer to Govinda Kaviraj place. Okay. Later on, Govinda Kaviraj came and he plucked the lotus flowers, and then he wanted to offer to Durga Devi. He took to Durga Devi, and he threw at the lotus flowers at the Durga Devi. Durga Devi immediately caught the lotus flower and prevented not that lotus flower not to fall at her feet. What happened, Mother Durga? This is this flower is has been offered to Lord Krishna. It has to be on my head like that. She restrained it. Okay, and later on he becomes sick, and that thing has unfolded. Okay, and then still he was very sick. He was calling Mother Durga. Like Durga Devi is coming. You take shelter of Krishna. She said, and she is not responding anymore. And then he called Govind Kaviraj said, okay, let me have the mercy of my brother. So she sent the news, I'm so sick, please come and help. And Ramchandra Kaviraj was serving his spiritual master, and they are nice discussing. They are into Krishna Katha, they are into Krishna Kirtan, they are Krishna Seva. And he kept the letter aside and he didn't even thought of it. Some days passed and his health got deteriorating more and more and more. Again, like he said, second request also, please come, my health is not going good. Like that, he again sent the request. And then still Ramchandra Kaviraj saw that, but still he didn't responded. He didn't even mention this to his spiritual master, Srinivas Thakur. So like that, I am few more days passed, and again, like this Govinda Kaviraj was petitioning Mother Durga. Mother Durga again tell, you take shelter of Krishna, everything will be fine like that, she said. And then he finally wrote the final third letter also. My health is my last. No, she actually Govinda Kaviraj asked, my dear mother, my last days has come. I am leaving my body soon. Please help me. And she said, uh, she said, take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. That's the only thing that you can get help. And if he also wrote the final letter to his brother, I'm, my health is so critical. I'm in my last days. Like that he says. So Ramchandra Kaviraj, now he became a little bit compassionate. He went to Srinivas Thakur and mentioned like this, my brother is there, he is suffering due to health issues, and he is very critical. So I would like, I would like to go and see. And Srinivas Thakur is a great devotee. He knows that this Govinda Kaviraj is also my disciple, but still he is not come to me yet. Said, okay, let us go together. So Srinivas Thakur sent a message to Govinda Kaviraj. Sorry, Ramchandra Kaviraj sent message to Govinda Kaviraj that even Srinivas Thakur is also coming. Then he was so sick, so he said he called his sons. Govinda Kaviraj called his sons. See, you have to arrange such a grand welcome to Srinivas Thakur. He is coming. So all the streets are well decorated with banana leaves, mango leaves, and nicely, traditional festivity welcome. And his time is so critical. His last minutes are approaching, but still he was withholding his life to just take darshan of his Srinivas Thakur. Yes, Srinivas Thakur, he came inside. He didn't even like now after traveling, they go and wash their feet, right? He didn't even do that. He directly went to Govinda Kaviraj. He was so sick, he was not able to get up also. So many people has to support him so that he get up from his bed. And then he paid obeisances. And immediately, Srinivas Thakur, he kept his feet on the head of Govinda Kaviraj. And then blessed him. And after that, he went to washed his feet and took bath. And then he went and took prasadam and told, give this remnants to Govinda Kaviraj. So those remnants of Srinivas Thakur were actually fed to Govinda Kaviraj. So after having that remnants, his health started suddenly improving. So, and he soon recovered from all this sickness and then lived for 36 years. So after that recovery, he immediately became a devotee of Krishna. And then he became initiated by Srinivas Thakur again. So, and then he started writing so many nice songs and all those kirtans, and then some like what you call plays, like dramas, right? So he becomes so popular that like everybody is appreciating his literature, and even Jiva Goswami from Vrindavan always used to send a message like anyone is coming from that area, he send you go to Govinda Kaviraj and see if any of his new songs and new dramas are come. And he used to get them and he used to read them and release them. Such a like he became so like it's so dear to Jiva Goswami and all the devotees also. So like that for, he has to go through such a phase, but like Srinivas Thakur, Ramchandra Kaviraj actually become so dear friend of Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur and Ramchandra Kaviraj also wrote many songs, but like later on, like everybody, everybody was become pure devotees of Krishna, and they were able to preach and they were able to serve. And so that's what I can share about the glorious pastime of Ramchandra Kaviraj. And these songs have such an in-depth realization because of what he has went through and how he got the mercy of Krishna. So even Dhruva Maharaj also, even though he's such a great personality, he actually, even though he was king, he developed total renunciation and then went back to Badrikashram. Okay, that's what I can say. If anybody have any questions or comments. Why only 46,000 years for yeah. Dhruva Maharaj was thinking that is too much. And like he just wanted, as soon as he took darshan, like when he was 5 years old, as soon as he took darshan of the Lord, he just wanted to go back along with Lord, go back to Godhead. But still, Lord has told him, you just wait for 36,000 years. After 36,000 years, then Dhruva Maharaj's descendants become the king. After that, Prachetas, and after Prachetas, their son, Prachetas' son. After Prachetas' son, everybody. Then comes the rule of Priyavrat Maharaj, who was the contemporary of Dhruva Maharaj's father, Uttanapada. So, if it is too much delayed, he cannot again, he will become healed. Yeah. So, like that, everything has a purpose. And here, if you see, for 36,000 years only, Dhruva Maharaj developed such a renunciation. See, a person when a person develops renunciation, he'll not be able to stay anymore in this material world. They have to go back to body. Tell how much we are attached to in this material world, that life or our stay in this material world increases. But you are totally detached, then material nature has nothing. Of course, somebody can be like what you call Jivan Mukta, but still that stage also not practically possible for long. Clear? Online, anybody have any questions or comments? Okay. अंतरराष्ट्रीय श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।